It has to be an Origin wrap-up.
Mate,
I'm too depressed.
I would have been happy to leave it until next week, but no, after Origin, we have no choice but to go. And good evening, and welcome to another episode of Lebs on League. This is State of Origin 3 wash-up. Last night we got pumped by the Queenslanders. As Cousin Al said, we were going to get punished, we got punished. Today with me again I have Bass and Cousin Al on the panel. Boys, who wants to start? I mean...
It's too depressing to
you
start.
guys are a little fired up about this. I think I found a bit of a zen place. But you guys, especially Bass, why don't you start, mate? You seem to be really fired up.
Well, you know, it's how they say in you love it when a plan comes together, to quote a good old A-Team phrase. Well, Ricky Stewart's plan didn't come together, and the reason why he didn't come together at his plans were he chose 16 of the same player. What now? Luke Lewis, Greg Bird, Gallen, Ben Cray, Bo Scott. What now? It's all the same player. You know, we were found wanting last night when we were hemmed down in our quarter. There was nobody to bend the defensive line back. We had nobody to cart the ball upfield. Sivan Asivi's 36 years old, he was still bending the line back. And now that he's retired, you know what we have to look forward to? A young animal in Josh Maguire coming in to replace him.
A more aggressive, younger replacement. Absolutely. What was the big difference between the two sides yesterday? Cousin Al?
The difference? I don't want to talk about Origin, mate.
Mate, we're here to talk about Origin.
Alright.
We've got to talk about Origin.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
It's just too...
You know the game, you played. You know the game.
It was depressing, right? But now, it's laughable.
It is.
It's really laughable, because we were laughing last night.
We were.
We were laughing.
Ricky Stewart says they're arrogant. But if you win 7 in a row, are you not allowed to be arrogant?
No, of course,
You can
get
be whatever you
arrogant.
want.
After 7 in a row, who wouldn't be arrogant? But the thing is, I look at this and I think, okay, 7 in a row, and I think that number taints what happened last night. Last night and in this series, we came really close.
No, you're being lulled into false sense that you are. They played rubbish in both the first two games. That's why we were there. They played crap.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But we had a team that we didn't give a hope in hell. We thought they had no chance of taking it up to the Queenslanders. Yet we did.
We did it.
We did.
We lost.
Well, we almost won.
Oh.
They're a team of champions and all that crap.
Guys,
yeah,
look, I wasn't happy with last night's game.
We had the team to win. You know what lost us the game? The difference. I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, right? I mentioned this to you before the game. I said if we are coached well, we will win. We were not coached well.
Coaching
he made some bad decisions.
Going for 2 points at the beginning of the game, good or bad decision?
But he should be sacked. Ricky Stewart should be sacked just because of that decision.
Put the 2 fingers up.
That's the first time you're down there.
First time you're down there.
You're not going to win a game kicking goals against Queensland. You're not going to win games kicking goals. You need to score tries, mate. We said they need to score 3 tries and no win.
We needed to score 4 tries. And I also heard 4 was the magic number I heard during the week. It looks like 4 tries was the magic number.
I feel sorry for Josh Morris. Mate, he had a blinder.
How good were the Morris brothers?
One of the best try-saving tackles I've ever seen and one of the best tries I've ever seen.
It's a great try.
And they lost the game.
Robbie played him. But listen, you know what? This is what you guys got to keep in mind. No, keep this in mind. In the entire 3-game series, the only try that we didn't score off a kick was the try from the kickoff when Cooper Cronk was in the bin. Every other try that we have scored was from a kick. We have no game plan. We have no structure.
Well, get down there. The halves failed.
The halves failed.
Didn't I say that last week? I didn't think that we...
Can I ask you a question?
You did say that. You also said Reynolds as well, which we...
You did say that.
And by the way, I've also heard today people talking about Reynolds be ready in a year or 2 years' time as being a good replacement. But you know, regardless. But
I'm going to go back to something that Cousin Al said a while back, right? Regardless of whether you choose Bird or Mitchell Pearce, right? What would have been wrong with Felini Mateo at 5'8" yesterday? Felini Mateo, if you're going to run... Like, honestly, Greg Inglis pretty much treated Todd Carney with discontempt yesterday. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way.
Gave him his new
they were going to
run... And I said to you, everybody goes to me, oh, Slater's out, we have a chance. I said, do you not see, now you have a prop with pace playing fullback. Inglis was bigger than most props.
He was a weapon.
With pace. How good was he last
night? He was a weapon.
Right? I can't wait for this weekend's game. I hope he's okay.
So, you've got, you know, if you had Mateo there in the number 6
jersey... He would have ran right, Mateo.
He's a prop. Mateo's a big boy. You're not going to push him away. You're not. He's got an offload in his game.
Can I ask, when we look at the two sides and we compare the two sides, what I'm seeing is that when I start to look at everyone in the Queensland team, yes, you're a State of Origin player, yes, you're a State of Origin player, yes, you're a State of Origin player. I can't say that about the New South Wales team.
There are a few.
There are a few, but a very small few. Are there potential State of Origin players in New South Wales that can take those positions?
Yes.
So where are they?
They're not being chosen. Because Ricky Stewart's formula is to pick mobile back rowers. And they have failed him and failed him and failed him. You know why? Mobile back rowers are short, stocky, well-built guys who can make defence and run. But they're not going to punch the line hit up after him. Gallen was resorted to, his hit ups weren't quality, they were, I have to take a hit up.
You need big boppers.
You need big boppers.
You need big boppers. And when Merrin went back to the Dragons, that's when we
That was
lost
our last week. And Merrin isn't exactly a big bopper, but he's
but he would have done a props job.
Absolutely.
He would have done a props job.
Props job, first tackle. Props job, second tackle. Back rowers take the rest. We were having back rowers taking first tackle. Back rowers, second tackle.
But even if he was
what back rowers left to take a third?
With our game plan, it was just one out. Queensland just thought, this is happy days. Look at this. They're coming to us.
When Ben Cray finally came on and head-butted Cameron Smith's knee to split his head open because Ben Cray, rather than take the line on, dived into a tackle head first. Split his head open. Tamo had just left the field, so Ricky Stewart has got to put a prop back on. Tamo was exhausted. He came straight back on.
Gallen was out.
Gallen was out for the count because we were hemmed in our line. Gallen is not a prop. Gallen will play 5'8" if you want him to, but that's not his position.
No, and also, his work rate was outstanding. And
Absolutely.
He was done.
But had he had some big boppers to punch holes in or bend the defensive line back...
And if you've got a one-out game plan, where are the bigger players? You can't just do that with
With respect to Brett Stewart as well. He's not... From the return kick...
He was shut down, though.
He was shut down.
Mate, those kick chases were phenomenal.
They were unbelievable.
They were phenomenal.
They didn't give him an opportunity.
But then what did we do in return?
It doesn't matter if we had Morris or Hayne in the back.
Inglis had a good 30-metre run-up before he met the defence.
Number 6, number 7, our halves.
Unbelievable.
Atrocious. Carney did not run the ball. Like, what are they doing? They're not directing the play. They're not directing the floor.
What about Tony Williams?
What are they doing?
What about Tony Williams?
Tony Williams didn't have one hard hitter. He was always flat.
Tony Williams is fantastic for doing a couple of bits of razzle-dazzle, but
flat.
he always balances it out by doing rubbish things like dropping the ball, trying to get the pass away where it's not on, or the penalty, which is the other big one. So he was definitely outweighing in the negative yesterday than he was in the positive. And he has that potential every day of the week.
I don't blame him. I blame the halves. The half should get Tony Williams by the ear, drag him back, and tell him to run like a steam train.
That's right.
That's what halfbacks are there to do.
Halfbacks?
They're
supposed to get the ball out.
Mate, they should direct them.
They send the ball out. They didn't send the ball out.
No.
Every time they sent the ball out, they looked fantastic. We made yardage.
They never threatened whenever they had the ball. They didn't make the defensive line of Queensland think twice about what they were going to do. They were too predictable. They were boring. And that's why we lost.
But when they threw it out wide, they looked great.
You know what?
Yeah, but they didn't do it enough.
Here we are talking about...
When they did it, they looked great.
Exactly. They didn't do enough.
Is this a coaching situation? Is Ricky Stewart...
Yes.
Out. Has he had his days?
If he's got any dignity,
if he goes to Para,
and you know what?
I resign.
If Ben Cray,
if Stewart goes to Para, that's it.
They're talking about
no more
going
Lebs
to Canberra.
If Ben Cray ever gets chosen for Orange again, he himself should say, "Look, thank you, but I'm not cut out for this."
He should do a Brett Lee of cricket, Ben Cray. We want you to play Origin. No, I don't want to.
I don't want
to. Bring a young gun.
Not ready. Not ready.
No, not ready. Not ready. I am not Origin material.
But how did it go? When he came back on, he went alright. He did alright when he came back on. Maybe because he didn't know what he was doing.
No, because he was. You know why? Because everyone else in the New South Wales squad were run off their heels and they had nothing left.
Too bad. No boppers. You lost the game.
He looked dynamic.
No boppers.
Are we to believe that had both Scott been fit for game 1 and 2, he would have been chosen over Merrin? Would he have?
No.
How do you send Merrin home? How do you send Merrin, your only prop on the bench? That's twice it's been done to him. We said that last week. That's twice. For the decider, why choose him? Why choose him for a campaign and send him home for the decider? That's like telling the young kid, thanks but no thanks. Don't need you anymore. Really didn't need you from the beginning because the others had been fit, you wouldn't have played. Oh, Ricky Stewart, you are kidding yourself.
Luke
And
Lewis.
Ricky
How
Stewart,
many minutes did Luke Lewis get?
He didn't come on until 10 minutes into the second half.
So he got half an hour.
No, but he was still being interchanged at that point.
Still interchanged. Luke
Yeah,
Lewis?
did he stay on for the entire second half after he came on?
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
But I thought his input was delayed.
Justin
His input was delayed
Hodges,
and he came on.
Justin Hodges ran away from Bo Scott like it was, how can I tell you, it was a joke. And Bo Scott was chosen into the side to plug holes. Really?
But you know what?
Really?
You know what really gave it? It's the fact that Hodges kept getting the ball. We just weren't setting the ball out wide. But you know, I tell you what, Queenslanders kept getting the ball out to those dynamic players like Hodges, where he was just running rings around the opposite.